This right here is the new Audi RS6 GT, and in this video we're going to talk about all the major changes they made to it and also show you how this is the ultimate RS6. So to give you a bit of background, the RS6 GT was actually heavily inspired by this Audi IMSA GTO race car, so we'll touch on that a little bit later on, but let's talk about the major changes you're going to notice up front, and it's with the styling and particularly the front bumper. The entire front grille and front fascia has been revised, so you get a full blacked out midsection over here. You still get those faux vents up top, which look really cool, nice contrasting with this black and white colorway. What's also really cool is this unique RS6 badging. You see the stripe is no longer just pure red, you get that kind of livery inspired design right there, which is super nice. And then going lower down here, you'll see a more aggressive chin spoiler with that decaling underneath and some more functional vents. Looks really good, stands out a lot, and honestly really adds to the rest of the design because up top you'll notice the full carbon fiber hood. We'll take a look at it when we pop open and talk about what's underneath here, but full exposed carbon bits over here. And then if you come along the side over here, you'll see there's parts of a livery that's again inspired by that IMSA GTO race car. On the fenders here, full carbon fenders, which we haven't seen on an RS6 yet. So this is unique to this vehicle. They obviously accentuate the design a lot, and they house these 22-inch lightweight wheels. The white design looks so good. You'll see GT badging on the wheel as well, and they're housing the Audi RS6 massive carbon ceramic brakes. Look really cool. The red brake calipers really pop underneath the white wheels and really add to the uniqueness of this. But let's talk about performance, because this is a car they want you to take on the track if you want to do it. You do get GT badging here, but because it's carbon, you can actually take a little peek in there. You'll see exposed carbon, and then these vents obviously help air go outside of the wheel well, reducing drag, reducing lift, and it's honestly super cool to look at. Now coming along the side, you'll notice carbon fiber mirror caps. We've seen that on an RS6 before. We've seen it on RS6 Performance. It's offered on other variants, but you do get this livery here on this carbon fiber side skirt. Looks really cool. Obviously starts to get more aggressive towards the rear end and then onto the second door back here, and then even onto the roof. It's a very holistic livery. It's broken up very nice and cleanly, but also just adds to the uniqueness of this because they aren't making a lot of these. They're only making 660 and 85 are coming to the United States of America. But it wraps up with this awesome rear spoiler. It looks really cool. It's covered in that livery like we mentioned earlier, but it also has a split design here and it looks really cool. You also get continuation of the livery down here, so that's nice. And then the diffuser and the rear was actually also updated. So you see right here, there's also pass-throughs on this diffuser. You get your reflector down here, but also if you look at it from the top perspective, you'll see these are actually intended to guide air in between these veins over here. So you also get an Audi Performance exhaust. And one more thing is the badging. RS6 with that unique badge over here, and then GT. So if you see an RS6 GT badge, you know you're messing with something that is a bit more track focused. So let's open the hood and talk about performance. So like I mentioned, it's a carbon fiber hood, and guys, look at it from underneath. Fully exposed, matte finish, very soft. It's like the tool side, as you guys can tell over here. So that is one unique feature. Obviously it reduces weight, but also looks really cool. And let's talk performance here. You do get the 4-liter twin turbocharged V8, makes 621 horsepower, and if that performance number sounds familiar, it's similar to the RS6 Performance. So the powertrain figures are carried over from that, but what we're talking about on this specific one is how it puts the power to the ground, and that has to do with the suspension, because this suspension is really unique. If you guys recall from close that. If you guys recall from the Audi RS5 competition, how that had manually adjustable race-ready suspension, this has the same setup. So you can adjust the dampers on the fly with the knob, which clicks depending on how many clicks you want per your preference and per the track you're on, but you also get tools to adjust the ride height. So again, race-ready suspension meant for the track and unique to this versus the Audi RS6 Performance, and the Audi RS6 has that conventional air suspension. This is kind of taking it a step up. But let's hop inside and see the unique styling and features you get in the RS6 GT. Okay, so inside, the biggest thing you're gonna notice are these bucket seats. And I have good news and bad news. Good news, they're suede bucket seats, unique stitching, RS6 GT branding on here with these cutouts, which look really cool, really race inspired. These are manually adjustable seats, and they have really cool red seat belts. But the bad news is we're not gonna be able to get these in the United States. Unfortunately, And the reason I really like these seats is because the back is full carbon fiber. They look amazing. Obviously they save weight, and obviously they're really cool, but it is a bummer we do not get these in the US. So this is a European spec that we're looking at here, but I really wish, I mean, Audi, if you're seeing this, please bring these here. We want them, trust me. And coming down here, you see the floor mats have unique RS6 GT branding right there. But guys, we can't forget, this is a luxury wagon at the end of the day. It's a high performance wagon, but it also has a lot of luxury. You see suede on the dash, you see your Bang & Olufsen speaker tweeters up top that pop up, you know, once you turn on the vehicle, which it is right now. On here is a suede, but this is again a Euro spec option. We're gonna get a red and black carbon weave that sits up here, which is pretty cool. And then you still get your dual touchscreens, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, your climate controls and other vehicle settings are controlled down here. Over here you do get your cup holders, and every RS6 GT will be serialized. You see this badging here, this unique serialization. This is 000 of 660. We're getting 85 in the US. So you will have your unique number right here. Suede on the armrest. You do get a wireless charger down here, and then Audi's known for having those systems that also increases your cellular range, which is pretty cool. USB-C ports, but enough about that. Let's hop on the driver's side and see what you get from my perspective. All right, guys, so on the driver's side, you're gonna notice suede wrapped steering wheel. It is also heated, so it's cool that Audi does that. You have your paddle shifters. The gauge cluster display also looks a little unique with that white portion. You don't typically see that. I don't recall seeing that on an RS6 Performance that I was in not too long ago, but this is on, it's running. One thing I want to point out, you'll notice above me, there isn't any sunroof. They removed the glass roof, gave it a regular steel roof, and that's to lower your center of gravity and save weight. So no glass roof anywhere on this vehicle. And I think that's a cool touch. I think people are gonna like that. From a collector standpoint, I think it's cool, but also from a performance standpoint, I think it's really cool. So let's hop in the second row and see what you get there. Again, guys, I'm really sad that we don't get these, because I mean, you know, you can give whoever's up front here a nice massage, but back here, it's still a really nice experience. It's still very practical. Great headroom, even more headroom because you don't have to deal with that sunroof. So that's great. You also do not get any side shades. That's like, we've seen that on RS6s in the past, not here. I think that's a cool and the right choice, I feel like. Looking at the seats, guys, really nice. RS6 GT embossed in the seat backs. These also have red seat belts, even for the back seats. Nice attention to detail. I wish they'd brought it into the center seat belt. That would have been nice, but no big deal. I'm not really going to complain about that. You obviously get your climate controls, USB-C ports, which is great. And then if I bring down the armrest, you also get obviously your cup holders, which is nice, and then a nice little storage compartment over here. But because it's a wagon, guys, let's talk about trunk space. So it's an Audi RS6 Avant, guys. You do get loads of space back here. You could fold the seats flat from the back, which is nice, thanks to these latches over here. You also have this divider. Not a lot of people talk about this. The fact that the RS6 GT has a divider. Really thinking about the practicality, the family, you know, we like to see that. No spare tire, obviously, down here, but you do get the side rails with these cleats that you can adjust to your preferred settings. And this privacy screen, which goes down here. Really nice to see that. But what people don't really show you, and I'm gonna show you, is there's another one. This is actually really cool. If I lean it over here, you get another net. You can actually latch that in place and it'll prevent things from flying forward. Really nice that they thought of that, because you want to use the whole thing. You may want to stack things up in your RS6 GT, you know? And they let you do that, guys. So if you want to put a set of tires back here, I don't know if they should fit. Well, all the seats flat, they better fit. Remove the privacy screen, you can get all that stuff out of the way. You can definitely fit a full set of tires. Get yourself to the track, on the track, and back in one vehicle, and also probably bring the boys. That's a pretty cool package. Again, sad things, they're only making 85 of these in the US, 660 in total. But hey, the RS6 already offered a lot of the stuff that I brought up in this video. So like I said, this car was inspired by the IMSA GTO race car. This was a legend at the time, and it still is today, because this car was a turbocharged 2.2 liter 5-cylinder that made 720 horsepower. And thanks to the Quattro all-wheel drive system that this had, it was beating all the American V8s around the track. This thing had so much grip, it was able to put the power down so much more effectively that if the driver wanted to, it can actually beat the race cars on the outside of the turns. And it was so good and so dominating, they had actually changed the rules to make things more fair. So like, just wanna take a moment to appreciate and respect how legendary this entire vehicle is. I have a whole separate video on this that you guys might be able to see on my shorts or on Instagram and TikTok, but this thing is such a unique vehicle, and it really changed Audi's reputation within the US, but also just in the race world as well as in the history books. So that's gonna wrap it up here, guys. If you guys have any questions about this vehicle, drop them, or not this one. If you guys have any questions about the RS6 GT, drop them in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer them. You might have seen other colorways. We're only getting this one in the US. There are other ones that are available, so we're not gonna talk about those, unfortunately. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you guys wanna see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.